Abroad. Good evening to you all, and welcome to our show, The Third Umpires. Of course, I am here alone at this time, and another umpire will be joining me shortly. But we do have a lot to unpack today after a weekend. Good afternoon also to the owners and managers of this lovely station, and thanks for giving us the opportunity to do the show, bringing insightful information and analysis to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and those that are listening. Today, last week we dealt with a number of issues. As usual, the show deals with the Third Umpire is a show that deals with the politics of the day in Trinidad and Tobago, and it is framed as a cricket game, and so the batsmen are the government in office, and of course the fielders are the opposition. So from time to time we would examine how well the batsmen are batting, and then we would also examine how well the fielders and the bowlers are bowling. So over the last few weeks we spoke a lot about the batsmen, the kind of runs they're putting on the board. Of course, it is equated in issues, and clearly they look, to a large extent, they look as though they're going to be batting for some time. They'll be putting some runs on the board, good trajectory, that kind of thing. In terms of the fielders, I have been a serious critic of the opposition and how they're feeling, and today I would like to in particular look at, I would want to start by looking at an issue that is now becoming very, very interesting, I should say, because the Prime Minister or the captain of the batting side would have made a statement sometime yesterday, and that has attracted a lot of, apart from concerns, a lot of in some cases criticism, in some cases negative or critical comments. Myself included, I think it is probably one of the low sides for me, because those of you who know me know that I am a kind of critical where the US is concerned and its hegemonic behavior, especially towards small countries like Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, I would have held a position over quite a while now in relation to the US and its bullying tactics, and these are my views, and of course these views is not necessarily the views of the government, or shouldn't be. We don't control the government. This is our views. This is what we say has nothing to do with the government or anybody. We criticize, we analyze, and we bring insightful or make for insightful discussions relative to the issues that are before us on any day, any given day. And my position in terms of what was said by the Prime Minister and the support, the alleged support that was given to the US and its action in the Caribbean Sea, and more so towards Venezuela, I think it was one of the time when I think they score a little bit around. They're not scoring much runs with this. And I'm saying this because you sending these kind of resources to Venezuela out there tells any sensible person looking in one thing: this could never be about drugs interdiction. It could never be about drugs interdiction or anything like that. Because if it was about that, then you'd do the same thing for Mexico, where most of the closest point, and most of the illegal narcotics and thing passes through, and that is almost known to every politician in the U.S. They complain about it all the time, yet you're not seeing ships, warships, and that kind of thing heading steaming towards Mexico. Clearly, we know what the relationship is and was about Venezuela since 2017, and it would seem to me, in my opinion, that this is all about an attempt to a regime change. And I think this does not augur well. I notice the rest of the Caribbean is relatively quiet, and I think we should have stayed quiet in this situation, and we should probably not have adopted the approach we adopt right now. And that is my view, because we know that Venezuela has probably the largest proven oil reserve, and clearly Trump position is Trump really has a business interest to a large extent for the U.S. The U.S. is always like that, and they will do anything, just like they did with Iraq and other parts of the Middle East, just like they did with Gaddafi. They will do anything to get Venezuela's oil. And this action, or the action that they are pursuing at this time, clearly points to that, in my opinion. This is my opinion, this is my analysis of the whole situation. You could chime in at some point in time and tell us what you think. But at this time, I feel that it probably might have been premature to jump in the fight at this time, our government, to even make a statement, or the statement of support that was made. And that is just my position. Politicians will do what they feel they have to do at some point in time, and I'm not saying that maybe she should not have done it, but I'm saying at this time it really wasn't necessary, because I'm hearing and seeing critics on the other side, the feeling side, who are saying things like who are chastising her. But they too had to take some blame too, because I mean, on the eve, well, sometime in December, I think it was, Hines would have signed about 5 agreements. One of them would have been a status of force agreement, which allowed for America, and it was extended, which would have allowed for America to do what it's doing now, without any permission from us. Which is why I'm saying that I think it was premature for our leader to come out and say what she said yesterday. But I wait to hear what you have to say on it, because everybody with sense knows what is happening in Venezuela and knows why it is happening. Right? In my opinion, Maduro is still an elected, not Maduro, well, Chavez is still, sorry, Maduro is still an elected leader, the elected leader of Venezuela, outside of all of what America would have said. But they have their reasons why they say things and do things, and we all know what this is about. So don't be fooled, don't bury your head in the sand and think that is anything else. It is exactly, and I like to say it as I see it, it is exactly what we think it is. You know what it is. So don't jump in a party that you're not too fully understanding what, or behaving as though you don't understand what is the status quo, what is happening here. Right? I'm seeing one of our umpires calling. Let me just take this call and hear what is his contribution in it. Good evening, Ronaldo.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Madison. Good evening to the listeners. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. And I just want to weigh in a bit. I know this topic is quite controversial and very current. But I am also of the view that we must refrain, especially in this geopolitics, and especially with the leader that we have seen in the U.S., we must refrain from giving unsolicited advice and support. Especially when we know for truth and in fact that support is really not tangible in any material way.
Mm.
At the end of the day, despite how we feel about Venezuela or the drug issue, Venezuela is still our neighbors. And
Mm.
there's a saying, when your neighbor house on fire, wet
Wet
yours.
yours.
We we still have a degree of cooperation which must be in place even after this whole impasse. And I say impasse because sometimes we, like little children watching a movie, we get excited with maneuvers that happen all over the world all the time. America is moving its equipment and its deployment of its things. China does the same thing
For
in the
strategic
South
reasons.
Sea, for strategic reasons. This is part of strategy as well. And sometimes, as we see, no shots fired.
Mm-hmm.
No shots fired. But but you so anticipate drama and conflict. You start to choose which team you're playing on, which side you're playing on. And it really don't have no match, at least not yet. So I think it's quite, as you would rightly say, premature to even. Now, I do not fault meaning, I mean, if you do have to pick a side or a hill to die on, we know what pick that will be, and there are obvious reasons for that. There are very
Exactly.
obvious reasons for that.
Exactly. But I didn't need
But
to
that
come out and say anything at this time, in my opinion.
but that has not come into play. So, for instance, you might support Russia or you might support Israel. Do you go out and announce that? Neither of those countries depend on your support. Neither of those countries require your support. Nor can you enforce in any material or any tangible way your support for any of those countries, which means you're in the pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in the pavilion, you need to stay quiet and watch your game. Watch your game, watch people maneuver. If asked, you give an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If asked.
Mm-hmm.
But to take in front, I find it's an unforced error, in my view. To take in front, you might seem, especially when uh, your CARICOM neighbors, if you take the cue from them, they are very silent because they understand geopolitics. And if you understand geopolitics, one thing about it, you can't make very rash decisions because there's a tomorrow. There's a tomorrow. And the Americans have said that this is about narco trafficking. Let's see what happens. Well, nobody get catch yet, no
But you
drug
you
runner
you
yet.
believe you believe this is about narco trafficking?
No, but what I'm saying, my belief is inconsequential. I could believe is it have a monster in the sea. It don't matter at the end of the day. So
Did they?
we all know what it. Yeah, we all know they're there. They didn't ask our permission to be there. They don't have to have our permission to be there, and they could say, as world powers can say, if you're bad movement,
Mm-hmm.
and they can say that, and then you realize what is the force and what is the level of your rhetoric. You'd realize that you really a pavilion in this whole thing, and nothing is wrong with that. There are small states and big states, and you have to know when is what. And you just look on and you observe. Sometimes you just have to observe. You jump in the part, plenty fighters end up getting beat up.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, because you jump in the fight and you jump in the fight, and and you said something at the beginning which is important. America has economic interests.
Mm-hmm.
And from what we have seen by the president, he doesn't take this lightly.
Yeah.
We saw a very first meeting with Mr. Zelensky that went wrong. And how many meetings they've had since then? Since they're shaking hands, they're hugging up,
Mm-hmm.
they're doing all kind of things, they're exchanging support and etc. If you were to jump in at the point in which they had their first meeting and first disagreement, you would look like a fool now. Because you'd understand that international relations and diplomacy between these countries, it's undulating, it changes, it's high and low, especially with this
But I don't know. I don't know
president.
if the leader would have probably done that really to preempt what a certain kind of expectation that support might be needed in certain areas. But that is a given based on the arrangement they already have. So,
But,
with respect to the agreement
apart from that,
signed.
that agreement, that treaty, or that, agreement that is in place, let's face facts. America doesn't need our tangible support in any way. This is an aircraft carrier and 4,000 troops. We are talking about. This is an aircraft carrier with a missile carrier as well.
Yeah.
Nuclear missile carrier. America doesn't. What are we going to do? Wash it down? Are we going to take soap and water? What is our role in this whole thing?
Exactly.
So sometimes you just overplay your hand in a conflict. You overplay your hand because you don't understand at the end of the day. When we talk about independence and sovereignty, we can't protect it on this side.
Yeah.
That is why we have those agreements. That is why Minister Hines that day put those agreements in place. At the end of the day, I could not have seen you saying no, especially the economic reciprocity that we expected.
And
remember, we were also expecting a dragon.
What makes this situation volatile, in my opinion, if you look at what was coming out of Russia and China over the weekend, was that they were saying that they will not necessarily stand by and see the rights or a sovereign nation be violated in that kind of way. So what you seeing here is all the trappings of a proxy. And
yes.
if Venezuela becomes a proxy, like say Ukraine or even Israel, we not far away. We not very far away. So that the effects of a war, or even Taiwan, the effects of war wouldn't affect us.
Yes, and we have to be very careful, especially because if you take that argument you made just now with proxy to its full extent, remember these other interest groups, these other allies, have strong economic power as well.
Exactly.
And some of it might also be to our benefit, at the end of the day. So we have to be very, very careful by coming out of the blocks too soon. It's the first ball of the match, and you're taking a swipe at the ball because you want to score 6 runs and you get stumped or you get bowled. You have to be careful. You have to watch the ball, watch the wicket.
Thank you.
See how the ball plays. Take your time. Watch the ball.
So in my opinion, Ronaldo, this is a dot ball.
Correct.
Right? This is a dot ball for the batting side. Because this could even have implication. This could be a dot ball on a wicket where it might be your last over.
Correct.
So
Correct.
It's serious.
Correct. Yeah, and you could get caught out swinging at a wide.
Correct.
You could get caught out. You could get caught in the deep. A ball you should have leave alone. You're playing hero.
Exactly. A ball you should have leave alone. You're trying to play.
You're trying to play. You're not all ball, and we use the cricket analogy, and it's very, 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 very applicable. Not all ball is to play.
Exactly.
Any cricketer would know that. Sometimes you have to duck. It will in your head. You have to duck. Sometimes, and if you duck into the ball or you didn't duck, you understand, Ambrose bowling, and the ball pitch up at you, sorry. So we have to understand this game as just geopolitics and the economics of it, especially because we see a leader in America who retaliates when he finds that you're not his friend. He playing the schoolboy game.
Because listen,
you're not my friend.
Listen, look at it like this. India felt it the same way, Remember when he was trying to apply tariffs the first time, and he was putting some, I think it was at 10%, it went to 25%, and as soon as India, he found that India was still buying Russian oil, he raised India tariff, and it didn't go back down to 50%.
Correct.
But India was, Moody was in America sitting down with Trump.
Correct.
The week before.
And and they are a financial power of their own.
Yeah.
So we have to understand in this little party here, we have to watch, and you have to stay quiet. In school you have to put your fingers on your lips and stay quiet. That doesn't mean that you don't have a stand. You can't fault anybody for having a stand or having an opinion. But sometimes you need to keep those opinions to yourself. That is my humble view. And not all opinions need to be voiced. You understand? Because you will find yourself
That is not a
talking on
party
the
we
two
needed
sides
to
of
go
your
to.
mouth. No, we didn't need to go to that party at all.
You see,
Because
cockroach and fowl for in that party, we shouldn't be in that party.
mm,
Let cockroach and fowl deal with the issue. And just watch and
no shot,
be a good neighbor.
be a good neighbor. No shots fired, nobody injured, nobody in land, nobody in nobody territory. It's a lot of, rhetoric and a lot of, like the boxers. Boxers, before they come out of the ring, how they shake up and you just have to pelt hand. Because you ain't hear the bell yet. You ain't hear the bell and you just have to pelt hand. Come on, we have to be a little more prudent in our approach because we have a very, very retaliatory president.
Yes.
Who retaliates, huh?
He petty.
He retaliates.
He's petty. So
Yes.
as a result, his interest is just economic interest. He don't think about all the other diplomatic, all them things. He don't think about them things. He just petty, just on
No.
economics. And if it's working for him, if it's working for America, then that's you. We mash you up. We sanction you 100%.
Because lest we forget, Venezuela has had oil for as long as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
But we have not been able to capitalize on it. And they do have oil now and gas, and we can't get it.
Right.
Simply because the people up on the next side say, if you touch that,
It's
you'll
the same
face
thing. It's the
problem.
same thing. It's the same thing with Cuba. Since after the Beza pig and the embargo they put on Cuba, ships going to
Correct.
Cuba can't necessarily come to Trinidad after. Can't go to the US after 90 days. So if a ship come into Trinidad with goods, it can't go to Cuba, or it can't pass through Cuba first, or it can't go to Cuba after. If it had to go to the US. It will have to wait for 90 days, so it will have to go empty to the US.
So we have to be very careful. I respect the captain's ambition, and I at the end of the day, as we say, if it had a hill to die on, that is the right hill to die on. But nobody asking you to die. That's the truth. Nobody invited you. If you were invited, if somebody asked you to say something, I could understand that. But you can't just put up your hand and say, choose me, look at me here. What do you mean you're in support of the U.S.? What does that mean?
Oh,
what you selling food?
America don't need me support.
I'm told they don't. And you're very right, they do not. It is unsolicited. It's very symbolic. The other day we were just calling with the same America about visas. We keep flip-flopping.
If America thought anything about us, they would not use us as an analogy about crime when in talking about what's going on in Washington. America don't see us as anything more than a place to step on every now and again.
Yes,
we don't mean anything to America.
You could infer as you like, and we could teach for what we want at the end of the day. And we have to remember, at the end of the day, as we have said and I've said before, I want to give somebody else a chance. That is our neighbors. And there's a way in which you treat your neighbors at the end of the day, because your neighbor problem could be your problem. Mm-hmm. It's okay, you could say mind your business, but if you live next to somebody who sells drugs, or let's take that as an example, it's okay not to watch and you say you ain't calling no police, but it's not your business. But the day somebody come to your house because they can't get the person next door, the day somebody comes to you and the problem spreads, then his problem becomes your problem.
Correct.
So Venezuela is our neighbor. We know about the whole drug issue. If that be genuine, then we welcome all the support, and we don't even have to say that.
But
because at the end of
my analysis, Ronaldo, is that everything that's happening in Venezuela have its genesis in the actions of the U.S. So, at the end of the day, of course, there's survival. You ban, you
Yeah.
put embargo, you do everything. It's like you're punishing a whole nation because you want to get at the leader.
Yeah.
And for what? Because the leader have
And
a
to be
socialist
fair,
policy, just like Gaddafi, where he see the his oil and his riches and thing to support his people as number one, as a number one priority.
yeah, just as to me, just as silly are those who coming out as well and saying, "Well, we are in supporting Venezuela." What do you mean by supporting Venezuela? The other day, you always saying Venezuela was bringing all the drugs and guns in. Just the other day, just the other day, we had disputes with the fishermen
Hmm.
for wherever. Just the other day, we had disputes along the Coast Guard vessel where they boarded some vessels. We always have these disputes. So let us not pretend either way that we have issues with both parties. And if we have issues with both parties, our neighbors and our visitors, then we should just stay quiet. We should just stay quiet. You wouldn't be neutral. You will have an opinion. But the extent you coming out now, because I've seen some people who say they are now in support of Venezuela. And I too will ask, what does that mean? What do you mean by supporting Venezuela? You remember the other day when it had the little children or the baby that died and there was this big impasse, who shot at who and who got shot? We always have problems with our neighbors. We've had it before. Then we have not even touched the Venezuela-Guyana issue, right? And that will show you how divided we are, even among ourselves, with that issue. When it was Venezuela-Guyana, we weren't on the Venezuelan side, you know. So we kind of flip-flopping ever so often in this international relations climate, and I understand it's very dynamic. So all you need to do as a nice country, or what they call us a dot in the south, just be quiet. Just be quiet. Let the talkers talk, let the actors act, and we watch and we see things play out. I don't we like to give support, and I don't know what giving support means really. I don't know what that does. If you say, I, Stephen Matheson, I am giving support to Russia, I will tell you, upon your clothes and go and fight. Because apart from that, I don't know what is the tangible value of this support. What does it mean if Putin asking, well, is Matheson supporting me? I don't know. We like to offer these things and give these things, and they seem to be very surreal. Israel, Gaza, all these places don't need our support, in any way. And in any way, they are going to do that war that they're fighting there, has been going on before now, a very long time. And we
Hmm.
sense from what is going on in the Middle East, it will continue. The annexation of Crimea, Russia didn't ask us what we think. Russia move in and take it.
Hmm.
The
And,
whole conflict
nothing,
with
and nothing the
Georgia,
world could do about it. Could I how
nothing at
superpowers
all.
operate?
Correct. That's how a superpower operates.
Yeah.
So we need to be very, very, very careful, because the truth is a lot of these superpowers have friends, but a lot of these superpowers have enemies as well. So if you go choosing and picking and supporting, you may end up on the wrong side of history, depending on what the outcomes may be.
Hmm.
But so far, we have only seen movement. We've seen simulations, like what they say is war games. We've seen chess moves. And that's it. And everybody seems to get excited because maybe we haven't seen warships in a while, or we don't watch TV, or we don't pay attention to geopolitics. But these countries move assets all the while. China does it. Everybody does it. You're moving submarine, you put them by Taiwan, Taiwan say they vex. If you cross the border, and if, and nothing happens. Nothing really happens. But China is free to move their assets, and they will send a signal. They will tell you, what they intend may or may not be. But you can't get excited with that and run off and ball war, fire, and you calling for fire truck and all kind of bacchanal. Well, you kind of premature. So I think we should adopt a very patient approach. We have our neighbors to consider. When the Americans gone, we have to live with our neighbors. Good. Who we have our own issues with. Good. And then we have other issues in the Caribbean that are dear to us. But on the face of it, the drug issue is an important issue. Let's see what happens, if anything happens. We don't know. Some of our largest drug busts in this part of the region have been with U.S. help that as well. I remember when I was in school years ago, there was this controversial ship rider agreement. That was a big, big issue, you know, and the power given to the U.S. military to board ships and etc. So we always have these little issues from time to time. We have to watch and see. Wait and see how the wicked play. Wait and see how the wicked play. Then you push your bat. That'll be my advice. Wait and see how the wicked play.
So Ronaldo, let me take some calls and
yes,
and invite our other female umpire is in here with us. I don't know if you want to say good evening.
Good evening, hi Ronaldo.
So,
still on?
Umpire Matheson, she dressed up nice today?
Yeah, she dressed up nice and she in a suit. She probably went to court today. She probably went and see a big client today now.
Okay. She dressed up like a Venezuelan or?
No, not like a Venezuelan.
Ronaldo, I will steer you on the side of caution.
But she looking nice.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good discussion as usual. And as I'm agreeing with both of you, I find cockroach should stay out of foul parties.
Yeah.
Especially because the Foreign Affairs Minister said something a little different. You know, so I think we should have been a more united front.
Let me take this call. Good evening, caller. Oh, we lost that caller. Yeah.
So the Foreign Affairs Minister said something very different to what our Prime Minister is saying. And of course, everyone is in a panic because if you remember, one of the callers last week was asking what our military does.
Let me take this call. Good evening, caller.
Panic because if you remember, one of the...
Good evening, caller.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
Listen to the conversation. I would want to feel that the spectators are on the field. If two teams are outside there, the spectators who are looking on have or wear the color of the jerseys of which team they support. And they indicate clearly where their stance is. If the team loses, whether the game of cricket win or just the team loses and everything falls apart. America, who is moving into this region, would have examined the situation clearly and would now move in based on whatever information, whatever stance they are taking. The other superpowers in the world are not moving in on the other side to say, well, it's supporting Venezuela. China, who people talking about, wants to invade Taiwan. Venezuela wants to invade Guyana. And they threaten Trinidad and all too, and we are very close. If there's a war, then Trinidad will be affected. Whether Venezuelans migrate across by the millions, we will be affected. So the idea is that at the end of it, win, loss or draw, does the region benefit? And if that case is how it benefits, then we look at things differently. Because everybody in Trinidad and the Caribbean wants to go to the United States of America. Everybody wants US dollars. Nobody wants to go to Venezuela. Nobody wants Venezuelan currency. When we're talking about relationship, what relationship we have? The Caribbean leaders out there, if somebody comes to Trinidad, can they defend us? And the idea is no, and the answer is totally no, because none of us in the Caribbean has an army to fight Venezuela.
So your argument is your argument is
come in. Who do you support?
Your argument is,
in my view, you will have fixed sides also. You will have decided that Venezuela is your side. Because you're talking America, whatever American motives. But we depend on America heavily, the rest of the world.
No, we're not bad talking America. We're saying what the fact is. You believe those ships sailing to Guyana is about drug interdiction? If
No,
you
no, no.
believe
It's not about that. It's about regime. It's about regime change. All of us know that.
It's about what?
Regime change.
Right. So it's there. So why did they just say that?
That's what we have after now. The question arises: would it be better for Trinidad and Tobago when we change the PNM? Is it better for Trinidad and Tobago?
Okay. So explain.
But all of us are here.
Explain
all
that.
of us support Trinidad and Tobago, but we don't support the party on either side. Some of us. So this is what we're looking at. We can all still live in harmony while we fighting each other. Because it's about regime change. Just let it. It was big fight going on.
So we all agree. We all agree to the same thing. We're saying that it's about regime change.
The idea is that you have to take a time, and you all are speaking and not listening to yourself. That you all are taking the side of Venezuela about sovereignty and independence and all that thing. How is that benefiting us?
But that isn't that not the ethical side to take? Isn't that not the ethical side to take, Caller? Caller, isn't that not the ethical side to take?
What's that?
Is right is might for you? Might is right for you, or is it the ethical side? Isn't what China and Russia is saying not the ethical side to take?
No, it's not about ethics. See, you are drawing something into a space that is not there.
Well, okay.
You have a country that has threatened to take over a certain part of Guyana. Our government, as they came in, they talk about the coming to Trinidad and do what they want and how they want. So these are the two countries down here who are affected directly by Venezuela or the regime out there. America has their own motives and their own objectives. It's not about might and right. It's about what they see, whether it's geopolitics or whatever it is, and they decide to move in. The people from the United Nations have not said, look, this can happen or that can happen, and we redown it or might is right. It's not that.
So then if nobody say nothing, why are we talking? Because we affected Ghana saying anything?
Yeah?
Guyana saying anything?
Yes, of course, Guyana has said nothing.
What did Guyana say?
Guyana said
since
they align themselves with America.
Help me. What did Guyana say since these ships start sailing to this part of the Caribbean? What did Guyana say?
They have not said anything. They're happy.
Right. They have not said anything. So why we say something?
Look, they said before you talk about geopolitics. ExxonMobil is in Guyana. It's an American company. It's a large oil sector. We know about financing and all that thing. So if Venezuela threatened Guyana, that ExxonMobil and oil. ExxonMobil has signed a contract with us. So Trinidad and Tobago also is in the same boat. But I am not talking about it. I am saying two big teams, two teams on the field. Yeah, Patriots versus another team. And we only stand outside here and we wear colors. And we either support either or. You are supporting one side and some people are supporting the other side, but we're showing the two colors. Those who are pretending that not supporting one side or the other are really cowards.
And that is what the caller before you were saying. Right? The thing is,
so the Prime Minister of Trinidad is not a coward. She's saying, I am here if all you need us, which they may not ever need, that we are available.
In spirit
and that's what she's saying.
In thought and in spirit.
Well, in everything.
Alright. Anyway, we're coming up to the top of the hour, caller. Caller, we are coming up to the top of the hour. We're going to take a break. You could call us back after the break. Alright, you could call us back after the break if you want. Simoya, you would have heard the discussions. Maybe we will have this we will expand on this discussion after the break. Alright? You could call us back after the break.
And so let's go pay some bills on the street.
Join the winning team with Pastor Alkaline John
every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and every Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
live on the street 919 FM as he talks about LaVive, the power of 5 fruits, one of the most powerful antioxidant supplements on the market today. The 5 superfruits in LaVive are mangosteen, acai, pomegranate, goji, and nuni. These fruits have a positive and profound impact on human health, performance, and disease. Join him as he gives live testimonials of the LaVive healing powers. To get more information, you can contact Pastor Alkaline John at 516-286-7079, or you can visit his webpage at www.alkalinejohn.com. Remember,
every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and every Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
live on the street 919 FM.
The #1 bookstore in Trinidad is having the biggest back-to-school sale for the holidays.
Shop at Sharon's Bookstore for the biggest back-to-school sale.
All your kindergarten, preschool,
primary, secondary school,
and tertiary education supplies at ridiculously low prices. Sharon's also carries a wide range of sneakers, socks, t-shirts, vests for girls and boys,
and much more items for school. So don't miss Sharon's back-to-school sale.
Now on Eastern Main Road, San Juan, Tutapuna.
2 locations at Trin City Mall, ground level and first level. We're also open on Sundays from 8 a.m. Check us on Facebook for up-to-date info and promotions. Also, message us for a quick response.
If you love summer and you love pizza, then you'll love Pizza Hut's all-you-can-eat summer. Head to the Hut for a big buffet every day. Then simply upload your receipt to our social media pages for a chance to win a PlayStation 5, a 5-island cabana experience for you and 9 friends, and so much more. Check our socials for details. Pizza Hut, now that's delivering.
This Java, get ready to chase the crunch with KFC. Dip it, dunk it, and drip it with our juiciest chicken tenders ever for as low as $29.95.
It's Java, it's summertime. KFC makes it all come alive. Big limestone into big appetite. Hit the beach with KFC. Yeah.
Choose our hot and spicy or extra crispy non-spicy tenders and dip, dunk, and drip into our flavorful sauces, Java style.
Feel the spice of the summer, let's go.
So, chase the crunch and make Java finger-licking good with KFC.
I love you.
The Trinidad and Tobago Council of Evangelical Churches, together with national cultural icon Mr. William Monroe, presents the first ever national concert of choirs, Divine Harmonies, Saturday, December 6, 2025 at the Grandstand, Queen's Park, Savannah. Choirs will be competing for prize money to the tune of $250,000, with the winner walking away with the grand prize of $100,000. We invite all church choirs nationwide to participate in this spiritual, cultural, and musical richness that will bring upliftment to our nation and redound to the glory of God. Tickets will be available August 15 from Maranatha Bookstore and outlets of the Trinidad and Tobago Council of Evangelical Churches. For more information, call 719-9599 or 497-0361. Divine Harmonies, ushering in the glory of God. This is Apostle Anthony Golson, and I'm inviting you to be there.
Don't miss the biggest price meltdown at Furniture Plus this summer. Shop dining room sets from $15.99, bedroom combos from $20.69, plus free delivery with select living room furniture. Shop the best deals at Furniture Plus today.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM radio. Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
Issue Belle Ikaro, I am Alatumishe Ifabamishe Aganki, better known as MC Duke. And
every Monday between the hours of 9 p.m. to midnight,
I host a show called Orisha, The Way of Life, right here on the Sheet 919 FM, where I have guests passing through from the Orisha Ifa Baptist diaspora to educate, edify, and inform you, the listening public, about Orisha Ifa practices. So remember to tune in
every Monday between the hours of 9 p.m. to midnight
for Orisha, The Way of Life.
Looking for a preschool for your child? Well, look no further. At Leaping Learners Preschool, we believe that every child deserves a jumpstart to success in a safe and loving environment. We prepare your little ones for primary school while giving them the care and attention they deserve, whether they're 3 or 7 years old. At Leaping Learners Preschool, we cater to children with special needs and provide long hours of care from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. so you can rest easy knowing your child is in good hands. And for our tiniest learners, babies aged 3 months to 2 years, we offer nurturing daycare services to help them grow and thrive. Join the Leaping Learners family today. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at Leaping Learners Preschool or visit our website at leapinglearnerstt.com to learn more. We are located in Barataria. Called 744-1523. That's 744-1523. Your child's future begins with a leap.
Tune in to The Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 to 186 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new, with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on The Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yes, listeners, we are back, and we were pronouncing on, giving a little analysis on the batsmen and what they have, how they are batting. Yeah, good evening, caller. Ronaldo?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the callers see us picking sides, because that's actually opposite of what we were saying.
I was saying the same thing.
We did explore what might be advantages to both sides, you know, of going either way, and we did say we will not ignore the obvious. But if you miss the main point of what we said, which is we are not a party to this dispute, we haven't been invited in the dispute, we have no local standard in the dispute, we don't have any power to follow through anything with.
But the caller was saying what we were saying a little differently, but he was saying the same thing, because he did agree that this could only be about regime change. Correct. Everybody who have eyes to see could see that. So what if somebody say that?
And there's and we do not discount the fact that our relationship with the US, it goes back a while, especially security wise, and we depend on them heavily.
Exactly.
That is not debatable. That is actually fact. We understand that for fact. Good. However, what we concluded by saying is that we have to temper our speech and focus on all the other issues that we have. We have enough of our own. Our plate is full. Our plate is filled. You know, we can get distracted with what's happening all over the world, because there's conflict. America they're in Rwanda, they're all over the world. They are all over the world. We can't follow them and say, "I's your friend," you know. Look your friend, look Trinidad coming here. Come on, that's all we're saying, is that some of these comments are a little premature. We didn't pronounce whether it was right or wrong. We didn't say that. And we can't say that, because the Prime Minister can't speak. You know, she is so entitled to speak. But we definitely have to look at the issue in a deeper way, and on the third umpire, you know, all views are welcomed. All views.
So, Simoya, what do you say? What is your say on this whole issue of what's going on?
This is very, very sensitive. And, you know, when I heard all of this, my mind went back to the last time they were in government and the Prime Minister took a stance and said that Trinidad is not an ATM machine. And it was not welcomed at all by the rest of the Caribbean. I'm afraid that this stance could put us back in that same situation with the rest of our brothers and sisters. So that's how I'm feeling about it.
Let's take a call. Good evening, caller.
Hey, good afternoon, guys.
Afternoon.
I thought I should just weigh in on a little something I have to do. And I've been hearing talk about this whole situation on radio for the past while. And it's something I just observed, right? I never just weigh in my opinion. Venezuela being run by the present Prime Minister. It is alleged that he hasn't won the election fairly and whatever, right? So we come to that conclusion. Now, people are saying that what it will benefit us. But as long as he is there ruling, we cannot do the business with Venezuela because it will affect us in terms of doing business with the United States, because anybody do business with Nicolas Maduro, the president, right? Sanctions are being brought up on them, right? So how can that benefit us? And if we look at it on a different standpoint, where the citizens are concerned, why do you think citizens are leaving Venezuela and moving and trying to seek refuge and all kind of things? It's because something is wrong there. Something is wrong in the country, right? That is causing a lot of issues with the citizens in the country. And we had to look at that very carefully. If we do not get him out or even assist, what then we are doing? Because how are we going to continue to do any oil deal or any kind of thing with Venezuela? How? You understand? So we had to look at it like that.
Did you hear what I just said, caller? I said that the reason why Venezuelans are fleeing Venezuela is because of the hardship experience as a result of America's action. That's why they're leaving, not because of Maduro action.
Well, you see, and why America is doing that to him?
Well, that, in my opinion, in our opinion, I mean, I have an opinion, and this is my opinion. This is not necessarily Ronaldo's opinion or anybody's opinion. This is my opinion. My opinion is, and it's not very difficult to see, right? What is happening in Venezuela is not what America telling is happening. What's happening? What the hardship that the Venezuelans are suffering is as a result of America's action in the first place. Down the road, yes, down the road is the same as Cuba and Haiti and all them other places.
Yes, yes, and I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, even the citizens, I look at them, a lot of Spanish people work with us, and they say it's because of him.
Well, listen, if you are stymied, if you are in some way prevented from doing what you're supposed to be doing for your citizens, you will get the blame. They're not seeing the third hand involved. So the only person you can blame is you, and maybe it's a good thing if you leave, if they get rid of you. You understand what Chavez was trying to do for Venezuela? And is it different from what Gaddafi was trying to do for Libya?
Well, boy, I won't put Gaddafi in class with Nicholas.
No, listen to what the question I ask you. Do you understand or understood when Maduro came into office in the early 90s what he was trying to do for Venezuela with respect to the oil and wealth, sovereign wealth? Is the same thing Gaddafi was trying to do for Libya. Gaddafi was executed. And America now, I mean Africa now waking up and realizing what happened there. It's the same thing, but this is my opinion.
Well, I understand what you're saying, right? But at the end of the day, America.
So my view is just an ethical one. I don't disagree necessarily with what the supporters of what America is doing. I mean, we know why we have to support America, right? We have no other choice. But I'm saying that what happened yesterday, in my opinion, was unforced error. I don't think the Prime Minister needed to say that. This is my opinion. She said it, but I don't think she needed to say that. Because our support is silent. Everybody know that the cold Caribbean, you can't do anything else.
Well, again, that is your opinion. But I think if we show any support at all to Venezuela, we in more trouble. If you understand what I'm saying.
Well, you're making my point. You're making my point. But what if he didn't say anything?
Well,
and we would still maintain a good relationship with them?
Of course, we have to.
Good. So that's the point.
I understand your point, and point well taken, and we just have to wait and see how things go. And we hope and pray that it don't escalate and some kind of understanding that come about and see how best it wouldn't, whatever happens, that it wouldn't affect us in any way. Which, if our war do start, it will affect us. That is our own.
It will. But caller, thank you. Let's take another call. Let's hear the views of another caller.
Not a problem.
Oh, we lost that caller, but thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, you know, we're not saying that. I am saying this is the third empire, and the way we see things is that we give insightful analysis on what is before us on the news, and this is my opinion. Good evening, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Now, you know, normally the Caribbean CARICOM has always held a stance of no violence within the hemisphere. And to support violence within the hemisphere can be very devastating for us. Let me explain. Who is Venezuela's ally?
Who's Venezuela's ally?
Yeah.
I'm supposing you're alleging Russia.
And
China.
who? China. Right. Now, recently...
China ever went to war with anybody in the last 40 years?
A different type, economic war.
Yeah, but you calling America is the only country in the world that drop a nuclear bomb on anybody else. America is the only country that went and killed millions of people in the Middle East, in Iraq and all them kind of places. I'm just saying. So America could do it and nobody else should do it.
No, but what I'm saying is that the whole war is starting because nothing to drugs. But let me get that clear first. It started because China, Russia, and a number of countries in the Middle East said that they are no longer using U.S. for trading.
Right.
And that came about with the problem that the tariffs.
Right. You're going down the right road.
Russia did a little something by attacking a U.S. business in Ukraine the moment they heard that America is coming down to Venezuela, into the Caribbean. That was like a, you know, when the fire is shut in front of your bow, and then there's a fire one at your stern, and the next one just comes straight in the middle. Well, I think they got a shot over the bow. This is a dangerous game that is going on, and we are foolishly getting involved because even India has also joined forces with China and Russia to stop dealing.
But this is what I'm saying. India get 50% tariff after Modi sat in the White House about 2 weeks before.
Right. And now we want to have dealings with India for trade. We have already had dealings with China with trade, but now we are going and support and attack on their friends. We're looking for more problems. If they stop dealing trade with us, what is going to be our predicament? The Prime Minister made the frustrating, foolishly statement to get involved in something what we have never got involved in. We have never agreed to any intervention into this hemisphere by anyone. I don't know if people are aware of the geographies that are happening, where China owns an island a little north of Curacao, and they have a number of installations there. So if Mr. Maduro decides to act for that,
Caller?
be careful. How it is with mountain tape. I understand we want the dragon to dance again, but I think we're doing about it wrong because the moment America gets to France to Venezuela, we'll have a repeat of Cuba where they will use the women as prostitutes and they will be able to get $1 because the big problem they have in Venezuela, the largest oil deposit in the world, said that they're no longer trading oil for $1, but for gold. And now they're doing it for resources like food and etc. etc. There are a number of Russian businesses in Venezuela presently, maybe you all know that. Some hotels and a lot of other stuff. So listen, this is dangerous. What it is we are getting involved in, because while America has gone in different countries before, none of them had alliances with those superpowers. And mind you, India is a superpower nowadays, because they have nuclear.
Of course.
So we have to be careful.
This is like a minefield, caller. This is like a minefield that we have to navigate.
So yeah, but why are we that?
And this is why we say this is an unforced error. Good evening, caller.
I'm still happening to you. I'm going to happen to the lady. Hello?
Caller, your reception really bad. Maybe you should try to call us on the normal phone or call us back.
Alright, sorry.
Yeah. Good evening, caller.
Hey, good afternoon again. Can you hear me now? Yes. I'm good evening to you. I'm good evening to the lady there. My question to you, Empala, your stand is that the state of our country, the head of our country, should not make that statement.
I didn't hear you.
Your argument to this evening is that the state of this country, the head of this country, should make this statement. That
my position is that maybe it was not called for at this time. It wasn't necessary at this time.
Okay. You know, China talk for China people. You know, Russia talk for Russia people. The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago talk for the representative of Trinidad and Tobago. She's the head of state. Under Rowdy 9 years, he take a stand. And his stand was being neutral, but being friends still with Venezuela by doing the oil and drug business, right? The only reason that why, because under Rowdy 9 years, and Joe Biden 9 years, right? 4 years. Joe Biden lift some clause because the sanction for 25 million was still up to grab for Nicolas Maduro under Joe Biden. But what he do, Joe Biden now and them used to deal business, his government used to buy oil and things from Venezuela. That is facts. If nobody, I would debate anybody on that. When Trump come in power, Trump cut that off. When Kamala come in power, she cut off the drug deal forthwith. One time she said we do no business with because she look at Nicolas Maduro the way that I support the leader of making that powerful stand. I support Donald Trump and the Americans for sending the warship. That is my stand. That's what I know. Because St. Vincent talk for St. Vincent people. Barbados, I don't hear nothing with them say. Because if the history of guns, he supports Venezuela, he could speak Spanish, he does good, he is friends with Venezuela. Right? The stand, what the lady make, is a stand for investment. It's a stand to make America, to make sure that stronger again, to make sure that healthy again. It's a brave and a bold stand because Dr. Rowley's stand was, I am staying neutral, but I am still dealing business with Venezuela. And the only how Dr. Rowley get to do business, it was a different regime. But when you did go on the website of the FBI, under Joe Biden, they still have sanctions, they still have the warrant. Joe Biden never move it. He never say, okay, what Trump do in the first time I put it on, because Trump is who put on the first $25 million head on Nicolas Maduro. He come this time and put on 25 more, and up to $50 million on Nicolas Maduro head. So the argument is easy. And yes, you might say that you're picking aside, but the way they speak, the way we're speaking there, it seems that we're saying that the government wrong. We shouldn't do that. We're a small country. We shouldn't get involved. We shouldn't say nothing. They're in the Caribbean waters. And you won't see it before. America could come in our waters with all these acting our country if they want to come. She should take in front and say, hey, if Venezuela try to invade Guyana or any other Caribbean country in this country, because we know Venezuela is bully also to we country. Our fishermen was being under attack for months and years by Venezuelans. We being getting kidnapped, our fishermen being getting kidnapped. This isn't not about what Donald Trump ancestors do us for 400 years. So why are we holding America for what the ancestors do us or what going on 100 years? The same way that Russia invade Ukraine because some bacchanals for over 100 years, Putin believed that he could come and take a land because 2025 he believed that he could come over and take Ukraine land because of that.
Your analysis real bad. But that's not why Russia. It's clear why Russia invaded Ukraine.
What's clear?
It's clear. Russia is saying that its sovereignty is threatened by Ukraine as a superpower joining Russia as a superpower. Sovereignty is threatened by Ukraine attempting to join NATO. And America's encroachment on Russia, on the outskirts of Russia. Now, the thing is, it's the same thing America would have done in the 70s, with which ended in the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, we go in the 70s back.
The Cuban Missile Crisis was about the same thing. America was supporting, America was guarding its territory.
You're living in the past. You're living in the past.
So it's the same thing. It's the same thing Russia did.
No, brother. Remember, the Guyana people them went to court. They say, okay, this is a land.
What is Russia? What has Russia been saying about all of this Ukraine, in the last few
back in the days, Ukraine, Russia and Ukraine fight a war, and they separate by land. They say, okay, Ukraine,
right.
This is yours.
And what has Ukraine been doing about the Russian people, Russian speaking people in Ukraine? You know anything about that?
Nothing. People say allegation against it.
Nothing.
People say allegation.
They was killing them.
I have no evidence of that. I have no evidence of that.
Well, I listen. I am a student of geopolitics.
I too.
I spend most of my time on that.
I too.
Right? So don't listen to what Trump and all said it. Because he knows. He said that was Biden war. And that war should have never started.
It is Biden war. It should have never started because if Trump was there, Putin wasn't playing mad and crossed the borderline. That's the facts about he wasn't playing mad because
playing mad.
Know,
you really feel America all that kind of powers the promoting?
Russia lost the war. Russia buying North Korea soldiers right now. 50,000 soldiers gone to Russia and they're so big. They lost the war. Russia right now have to, and you should.
Russia after what?
Russia
after what?
Buy soldiers from North Korea.
Listen.
North Korea was dying in Ukraine.
So then why America not sending the people? Why the Europe? Why Europe not? Why what's happening in America? All American patriots, the most prized defense system. Why is it being destroyed in Ukraine right now? As we speak.
You are arming. Fully arming.
No, asking a question.
To destroy Russia.
America's most prized defense system, the Patriot. Yes. How come Russia with its Iskander-M is destroying all of them in Ukraine right now?
You're mad. That's mad talk.
Eh?
That is mad talk.
That not happening?
No, you are saying that one of the best defense equipment what making in the world is America make the best set of equipment in the world.
I'm asking you. Wait, so who have the best defense system? Who touts to have the best defense system in the world?
I choose my way. I choose America. America the best defense system.
Right. And America's best defense system is being destroyed in Ukraine right now as you speak.
No. I don't have that evidence.
Go and check it.
I don't have that. No, I don't have that evidence. My evidence are saying that Russia is back. They walk back because let me tell the world.
This is a infertile discussion, right? Maybe go and do your research and come back and talk to me.
No,
let's take another caller.
Madison, you're heating up here now. We're getting a little overheated.
No.
Listen, we understand the perspectives.
Yeah,
we don't need
that perspective. So I am not, people listening to this discussion and probably thinking that I taking a particular side. I am not necessarily. I'm just saying.
Observing the
I'm just looking as a diplomat.
I heard his part too because somebody.
Let's take this call. Yeah. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Matterson. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
I mean, Kingsley trying to lead the program, of course, a matter of fact. Like Kingsley, he no get no board position if he talks. So Kingsley, if you're in no board position, for you all the board position flop. But coming to give my contribution on this topic here. This thing with American trade, and we have no foot in this race. With this thing that it better we didn't say anything.
0 foot. That's
we
what we
no
saying.
Foot in the race. The military over there is more than we population.
Exactly.
You understand? We must give Jackie jackets. We know there are people that support the Prime Minister. There are people support the opposition, but we have to look forward to our safety. I was reading the comments. And I hear a man say in the comments, Caribbean Soul, on the YouTube profile, all of a sudden people is experts in war. And I am saying today that is one of the statements that have no logic in it. Because it's people life, people playing with, people trying to say something based on if a war take place, they could dead. So you don't have to be an expert to say, all right, that statement could cause Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody could die. So you don't have to be an expert to talk out on them kind of thing. And people, we must be wise. We must try to de-escalate problems. We are no foot in the race. Let America and Venezuela battle out the thing. If you want to pick a side when it does clear. We are no foot in the race at all. And Matterson, don't let Kingsley and them come because he's still campaigning. Kingsley, there is no board position available for you. Thank you, sir.
Oh, come on now.
Caller, thank you. Thanks for calling. Today is a different day. But let me hear all this caller to say. Good evening, caller.
Hey, good evening, Empires. Good evening, Mr. Matterson. Good evening, Mr. Moya.
Good evening.
How you guys doing today?
Good evening.
Mr. Moya, I love the natural look. That is your look. So Mr. Matheson, we discussing. So Mr. Matheson and Mr. Moya, we discussing this, right? So in December, what did the PNM sign with the U.S. government?
Well, they signed a status force agreement along with four other agreements, which allowed for America to patrol this part of the hemisphere. So, in any case, this was already in existence, and therefore, America could have done it anyhow you take it, in any case.
Well, right, and so if Ms. Kamala sees it, it's okay because it's something that is inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
So, you see...
What we are saying, what I am saying, not we, but what I am essentially saying is that I don't have a problem with my thing is that what's happening is something that could affect us anyhow you take it, whether we say something or not. I'm saying we didn't need to say anything.
All right, I agree with you. You know, sometimes, you know, but at the end of the day,
our position is already known.
Yeah, it's already known. So let me analyze it, right? When Podolsky go to Thailand, China didn't attack. They threatened, but they didn't. Why China hasn't attacked Taiwan as yet? The last war China fought was in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And China spent 50, 60 years developing a country to be one of the greatest in the world. Right? China don't want to risk a war factor. China is on trade. That's why they call it the UN, what they call it? The UN Charter. They're using the law at their side. Russia fought the war with Ukraine. Right now, Russia military force is a little bit depreciated, right? Throughout the war, because a lot of people died.
Well, Russia is now on a war economy, you know. Russia is producing lethal weapons faster than any other country in the world could do right now.
Exactly. They're producing the weapon, but if you look at the militia that Venezuela organized, there's a lot of aunts and uncles in that force.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about longevity of a war. You can have senior people fighting a war. And you see, I don't believe there will be a war. They're outside there.
I don't believe so either. And that makes my point even more. No war going to take place. No war going to take place. If America want without force to change regime, they could send the CIA inside there and execute Maduro.
Yeah, and
3-4 years ago.
Possibility of drone attacks and
yeah.
But I believe America is waiting out outside here for the citizens of Venezuela to give up Maduro.
Exactly.
Because
exactly.
So right now
it's like they're turning these screws on them all the time.
Right now I hear, well, a report I saw, I don't know if it's real or not, but it looked real to me. He in the embassy, China embassy in Venezuela, begging. You see, the reason, and one question I had to ask myself, they see how the West has put sanctions on country and BRICS against that. Why they didn't let Venezuela join BRICS? What is the reasons why?
No, I think Venezuela is on the doorstep right now, if I'm not making a mistake.
But I think Brazil have a problem with it.
Oh, okay.
And Brazil is a key player. You see, there's something fishy out there. You see, we got a lot of emotions is passing, and we know in the past America did a lot of stuff, but there's something that is happening. You see, when they waited out here, now, if you look at the drugs won't be coming in. If they see that the border is a little more secure, they won't have guns coming in. And let me see the outcome for the next month. If it will put a dent in this cartel-like behavior, because, as you see, J.D. Vance, the crime rate high per capita from Trinidad to D.C. So that means a lot of people, they won't say something like that just like that. They will have intelligence on that. So I think people should just wait it out to see. And to be honest with you, Mr. Matterson and Mr. Moya, before I leave, who is a better partner to side with in case there's a war?
I don't think none.
You know, all right.
I will stay
because
neutral.
let me tell you something.
Can we stay neutral for long is the question. Because
Yeah,
to me, the
that's
same
for
thing
long,
you're
because
accusing US of, isn't Venezuela doing the same thing with Guyana? So
exactly, and then the foreign minister, the security minister say Trinidad involved with the CIA. Where he getting his intelligence from? You see, you could bully a small country, but when a big country come up just like you start asking for peace.
and that's another perspective. That is another
So let me
perspective,
just
right?
wait out and see. All right, guys? I'll look on this. Let me hear somebody else over there. All right, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
So it given a different dynamic. So as much as the US is a quote-unquote bully, we can see the same of Venezuela. And all the Prime Minister said, if they invade Guyana in any way, we're going to open up our waters and the real jamming going to start.
Right.
That's what she's saying.
We waters done open up.
But you know, interestingly, the Prime Minister isn't responding to the views that the negative views of the public talking about the zone of peace, and she's saying, what peace? We ain't had no peace in a long time. We have crime, we have drugs, we have all these things happening.
True.
So what peace are we talking about? Is she right? You question it, is she right or is she she's right? So the zone of peace is what they're referring to in terms of CARICOM. We don't promote violence. But for a region that quote-unquote not promoting violence, we are all impacted by crime at some level.
Exactly.
So,
but that
what
is,
peace?
That is if you had this discussion on the premise that America is in the Caribbean to deal with the
drug
narco,
issue.
the drug issues. And in my opinion, and anybody can see it, because you don't need to send all them warships to be able to do that. That's how, if that's what you're doing, that's how overkill, right? Because no, I mean, you don't need to do that. If Venezuela has a problem with drugs, then why you do the same thing with Mexico, where all your drugs coming from?
So you see, it's an issue of, to me, it's a whole ethics issue. You know, we want to speak on one side, but on the next side, we
Let me
do
hear
the
what
same
this caller had
thing.
to say. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Moya. And,
Good evening.
I didn't really want to engage in this discussion this afternoon, really.
I know is that difficult discussion to have.
Yes, correct.
Well, I think it's not as difficult if you got the all things right. I don't know whether Guyana is still a member of CARICOM. I don't know. I know, growing up, I know Guyana was a member of CARIFTA up until they had CARICOM. And I am saying that Trinidadians are very hypocritical. And the thing about it here is this, is that when Venezuela attacked or threatened, and not on one or more occasions, you know, even prior to the matter reaching arbitration, and going before the International Court of Justice, they were threatened. And the fact remains that, and the caller spoke recently about Brazil. Brazil and Venezuela have been in contention even way back about a year ago. Also, Colombia, because they share border with this Guyana. And the fact remains is that when the time comes, they don't CARICOM, those small islands, they don't behave like, they don't treat Guyana as if Guyana is part of CARICOM. That is my observation. And it is unfortunate. And I am saying, yes, the Americans are coming, in fact, ships are sailing, the Armada is sailing towards the Caribbean Sea and that kind of thing. They're saying that they're coming to deal with narco traffickers and all these kind of human traffickers and drugs and all that, because they've been complaining all the time about drugs coming into America from South America. through Trinidad. Trinidad was a transshipment point. And the former prime minister you had here even went and he was saying, no, guns and all these different things. And they had discussions up in New York, up in Washington with respect to that issue. Even the CARICOM, again, they were part of that discussion. So I am saying to pretend that there's not an issue in Trinidad with respect to drugs and crime and gun running and all these things. Trinidad is in a mess because of that. And the people been talking about, even with respect to those Venezuelan people coming from Venezuela, who are in fact, they even talk about the trend, the AGUA being in Trinidad and acting in concert with those gangs in Trinidad. The thing is that people talk about the Mexicans here, people say the Cubans are here, people say, and yet people are pretending. So if the Americans are saying that they are coming up, they have to protect their country, their border and whatnot, control their whatever it is, because they are suffering. The people are suffering because of in America. They are saying that, and it's either you want to be complicit or you want I think people should read the Prime Minister's statement carefully. What she said. And Simona said it, one of the statements that she said. She said that the Americans, yes, and I heard people speaking about the Venezuela, and yes, they're coming down there. And the fact remains is that people under the law of the sea, you know that you have the internal waters, you know you have the territorial sea, and then you have the high sea or the international waters. And if once America, those things are in the international waters, then yes, you will say it's a threat to you. They say that. People are saying they're coming to invade and coming to take Maduro out, take him out. From I don't know. It could be so. It can bound to be so, right? But the point I'm trying to make here is this: is that people are probably reading too much into it, and we have this. Go back again to the shipwrighter agreement. What was the intention of that agreement? What was it intended to do? Was it successful or not? And we know that this thing is heightened in America with respect to it with Mexico, drugs moving from Mexico into the American into America, and they were concerned about that. And tariffs were in fact the Americans sort of imposed tariffs on Mexico as a result of the allegation. Their accusation that drugs were coming in from Mexico into America. I am saying we have to tread very carefully with respect to that. And the only thing I may not have made this statement, and I may agree with you with that, but the fact remains is that you have a ship, and I realize that agreement is being downplayed, you know. And some people are saying that was the only time, but there's an agreement that Trinidad would be used by America in the event that they have to take action within any island, any country within our area. There.
Exactly, and the agreement was renewed.
Right, and what what she's probably saying, there is an agreement. We have America could come because there's an agreement.
Exactly.
And
so
you have to honor the agreement. So if you have an agreement, and all she's spelling out, there's an agreement.
Right.
That's all she's saying. We have an agreement, and the America could use our territory in order because we have an agreement.
Would it have been easier if she had made that statement to say that there's an existing agreement? Because people would probably understand it differently than saying we warring against drugs, etc., etc.
I don't want to say that, but I don't know whether in fact she had taken, she may have taken, but she should know that there's an agreement. Because I know, you know, in I think somewhere in January or late last year,
December, around the 10th of December.
This thing came up, and they had to go to the embassy, and people were calling on the embassy.
Yeah.
To clarify the whole thing and all that, and a whole set of game, and the former prime minister was out there dancing here, dancing there, and so I'm saying that there is an agreement. People have to, and that is what people have to understand. There's an agreement, and the question about that was yes, it was there a long time, but the fact remains is that the agreement was given further teeth in the sense that they were further agreed. They agreed to continue with that agreement. And I'm saying that America has, and the population of Trinidad has to know that. The population has to know that there's an agreement in Trinidad.
Exactly.
Which was signed
and so we would have said that, which is why I
am saying that it was not emphasized. It was said just in a way like there are agreement. But the fact remains, you have to let the people know, yes, and I would tell them that there is an agreement in Trinidad whereby America can use Trinidad as a launching pad to take action any country they want in South America, including Venezuela.
Which is why I'm having a problem with even the members on the field team complaining about what the Prime Minister said, because the agreement took place under them.
Well, but the point I'm making, I am not going into that. I am saying that there is an agreement. You are saying that the agreement was renewed, right, under them. But there is an agreement. That's a fact. There's evidence that there's an agreement that the Americans could use here at any time. And you renege on that agreement. When the time comes and they call on you, that Exxon sanction there for that Exxon deep water, that gone. That revitalization or revamping of that refinery, that gone. You have to understand that, and you have to understand that there's a political animal in that White House that is on the rampage. He's sanctioning allies and all in Europe. They have to run to Mariago to bend the knee. And he's ruthless, and people have to understand that. So don't tell me you have an agreement. There's an agreement, and that agreement was in fact.
My point, or my opening salvo was that maybe we didn't need to say anything because it was there already.
Well, regardless, she is saying it there. We know it there. Young lady just emphasized or probably stating that. And what was supported, what she said, what she said is the agreement. Don't hide that from that. She said so, and there's agreement. I don't want to take too much of your time.
Got you.
Have a nice evening.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So I listen to everybody, what everybody have to say. I agree with everything. I think we all saying in different ways, kind of like the same thing. But let's hear what this caller have to say. Good evening, caller.
Good evening. I'm listening to your program. Now, the first thing is, the opposition should not even say a word. I see on YouTube where Rowley come out to talk. Rowley should not say one word. He shouldn't be scared. Because when he was in the government, what he said, who is Trump? He said, who is Trump? If you say who is Trump, Trump and nobody, he can't do nothing. What he's scared about? So what he's scared about, what the opposition, with what the TNN scared about now, because he said who is Trump? Trump can't do nothing. Right. Now, the Ms. Kamala said, she didn't say to go and fight Venezuela. The man have a problem, 18,000 people going into his country. Right. Obama, Biden, and Kamala have America that is cheap. They're all bringing in people, and the place so overcrowded, the street sleeping. The most president in America is in them days. The man is cleaning his place. The man is going into Venezuela. Venezuela, he and Iran, a lot of Venezuelans, make the police a lot of the Venezuelans with drugs and guns and all them things. So if Trump go there and Trump going to clean up, why Maduro come out? Why Maduro come out? If you see the condition Maduro had Venezuela, I don't think people in Trinidad don't know. People had to leave everything from the country and run. and you encouraging drugs and guns and all kind of thing. And the man going to clean up the place because he have the problem with them. Trinidad have the problem with them, but Rowley and the Chinese man encourage it. And the opposition right now, the CNM, they did not stop the Venezuelans. They did not give them enough time to stay. They said, keep them in your house. You can but they don't have any problem. He said, no, who you having in your bedroom, no, who you having in your house, and send kids something. He said, open your door and keep them here. So we country in a mess with them too. And all kind of people they have here. You hear? So the man, Trump is right. And Kamala said nothing bad. All who side in, and I say, well, we coming out to talk. What are you coming out to talk for? You couldn't control the drugs, you couldn't control the guns. You have Trinidad. You leave Trinidad in bloodshed. Yeah? You tell me cassava, tighten the belt. The hospital I have nothing. The gas man was gas 3 times. And nobody had riot. All kind of things you do to the people. What you talking now for? Obama is the next one. You want to talk about Trump and you had that country show. You want to talk about India and you spend 8 years there. What you do to America, what will we do to here? And now all you two want to come out to talk about the country, other people ruling and trying to clean it up and bring it to. Nobody, you see what happened? What if a young woman gets up? The woman gone into the business place and she gets up. Drugs and girls. One gets kidnapped not long. I'm glad Trump did. I didn't say that Kamala never said she accommodated me. She said if Venezuela interfere with them and Trump harm to find himself in that, he could use her water. She's not in it. And we're not in it because we said, who is Trump? Well, we're coming out to talk now. He said, who is Trump? Trump can't do nothing here, nobody. He said, who is who's the English court? But it took to go quite to England to fight goat case. Goat case for the people around. The parents there and the big paper. So you have to know what you're talking. But you're going there to fight the land for goat case. Right is right, and wrong is wrong. Thanks for this time.
So this is a very contentious issue, and it have different perspectives. On the whole issue. This whole issue have different perspectives.
People are talking about ethics, the ethics of the U.S. behavior.
No, I am an ethics person, and I look at the bigger picture. Now, different people see different things. Everybody on the side, I have no problem with it. So, I mean, we have exhausted to a large extent the discussion on this, and in the next hour, we will deal with some of our issues.
All right, now.
Right? So,
ethics, nobody's own.
Listen to us in the next hour. We are counting down to this hour, and one of the things I want to talk about in the next hour is some employment law issues, some HR issues. You know, we just always had to bring that in, and you are the expert.
You continuing with the bullying.
Yeah. So, you know, it's important that we, at least, apart from all the geopolitics and all the politics and that kind of thing,
there's
we talk some
corporate politics that happens
we talk about some
well.
corporate politics, and that because that is important also, and people listening on, they want to hear that also.
Yeah.
So in the next hour, we will deal a lot with one of the things I want to deal with in the next hour is things like tribunals. In the last few probably days, I've gotten so many requests to sit on tribunals, and I've seen some kind of outlandish statements made by some employers, and I want to discuss some of that in the next hour.
All right.
Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, We will be taking your calls in the next hour, but we will be talking about something a little different. We go to take a break now, pay some bills.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Attention business owners. Are you looking to reach a vast audience and boost your brand's visibility? Then look no further. The Street 919 FM is here to help you shine. With over 170,000 followers on our social media platforms, our radio station is the perfect platform to showcase your products and services. Join us and let your message be heard by thousands of eager listeners. Contact us now to learn more about our affordable advertising packages. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to connect with your target audience. Advertise with the Street 919 FM today. For more information, call 399-5959 or 384-2232.
The island is buzzing with news of big savings at Sharon's Bookstore, as our back-to-school sale is now happening at all 3 of our locations. We have great deals on everything you need, from school books, sneakers, backpacks, uniforms, stationery, and accessories to so much more. Whether your little one is starting kindergarten, heading to primary, secondary, or private school, or even taking theory, we've got you covered here at Sharon's. So why wait? Come on down and let us help you get ready for school. Our friendly team is waiting for you now at our locations on the Eastern Main Road in San Juan, the Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna, and on levels 1 and 2 of Trincity Mall in Trincity. Sharon's Bookstore is proud to be your local one. Stop shop for all things back to school, helping you with style, savings, and everything school-related all under one roof.
I love you.
The Trinidad and Tobago Council of Evangelical Churches, together with national cultural icon Mr. William Monroe, presents the first ever national concert of choirs, Divine Harmonies, Saturday, December 6, 2025, at the Grandstand, Queen's Park, Savannah. Choirs will be competing for prize money to the tune of $250,000, with the winner walking away with the grand prize of $100,000. We invite all church choirs nationwide to participate in this spiritual, cultural, and musical richness that will bring upliftment to our nation and redound to the glory of God. Tickets will be available August 15 from Maranatha Bookstore and outlets of the Trinidad and Tobago Council of Evangelical Churches. For more information, call 719-9599 or 497-0361. Divine Harmonies, ushering in the glory of God. This is Apostle Anthony Golson, and I'm inviting you to be
there. This Java, get ready to chase the crunch with KFC. Dip it, dunk it, and drip it with our juiciest chicken tenders ever for as low as $29.95.
It's Java, it's summertime. KFC makes it all come alive. Big limestone into big appetite. Hit the beach with KFC. Yeah.
Choose our hot and spicy or extra crispy non-spicy tenders and dip, dunk, and drip into our flavorful sauces, Java style.
To the spice of the summer, let's go.
So, chase the crunch and make Java finger-licking good with KFC.
Coach, yes, Coach, are you passionate about serving others and supporting people as they reach the highest version of themselves? My name is Jesse McBarrow, and I've been able to earn a living as a life coach serving people all around the world, and so can you. Are you ready to be internationally certified? Enroll today for this program and learn everything that you need to know about being a professional life coach. Listen, there are payment plans available as well too, so see you in class.
For registration, contact the Institute of Health and Fitness at 336-4935. Light up your weekends at Vibes Nightclub, Tobago's hottest spot. 3 epic nights of music and energy await every Thursday. Karaoke Thursdays. Kick off at 8 p.m. with free entry. Grab the mic, unleash your inner star, and sing all night. Beers on special for $10, 2 Campari for $25, and giveaways for the best singers. Every Friday, Limers Fridays. Kick off at 8 p.m. with free entry. Vibes with your crew and enjoy beers on special for $10, 2 Campari for $25, and 2 White Oak for $25. Every Saturday, Raw Saturdays. Everything goes, nothing but good vibes. Free entry and an all-star DJ cast to bring the vibes. Vibes Nightclub is where Tobago shines. Join us Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for music, fun, and unforgettable nights. Don't miss out. Your weekend starts at Vibes.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
Are you tired of scratching the surface? Do you want to understand the real forces shaping Trinidad and Tobago? From the delicate dance of our energy sector on the global stage, to the geopolitical shadows behind the crime affecting our streets, we dig deeper. The third umpire goes beyond the headlines. We connect the dots between local challenges and the international currents that truly impact your life, your wallet, your security. Join Stephen Matheson, Selvin Mitchell, and Ronaldo Rollux, 3 employment law and human resource management consulting professionals, as they unpack the complexities, analyze the power plays, and reveal the often hidden realities. Understand the game. Understand your role in it. The third umpire, critically analyzing Trinidad and Tobago's economic and political realities on how they affect your daily lives. Tune in Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. on The Street 919 FM. Don't just listen to the news. Understand it.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yes, callers and listeners, we've been through a very contentious the last 2 hours because we do what we do best. We analyze things, we bring them to you, and we hear what your opinion is. We give our opinion on our analysis also. Sometimes it may not be down to your favor. It might be what you want to hear. Our position might be different from yours, but that's why we have discussions. That's why without wars, we listen to everybody and hear what everybody have to say, and the opinion will be formed by the general public. So, ladies and gentlemen, every day when we have these, because we are employment law and human resource management professionals, we like to also give you a little segment on some issues that relates to human resource management and relates to governing human resource management or human capital, and also issues that relates to workers, right? So we treat with both sides, and we try to bring and put an impartial face on the issues relating to workers and workers' issues. And during the break, my colleague and I were talking about some issues. Over the last few weeks, I've been invited to sit on several tribunals, some for companies, some for workers. And from time to time, you will see issues taking place. And sometimes it makes you wonder why persons aren't acting under the advice of professionals. That being said, Simoya, you think we should tell them what are the rules of natural justice and how it works when a dispute arises?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So, when a dispute arises in the workplace, a number of things have to take place. One, a company will usually consult with its policies and, of course, the contract that governs the relationship. But we have something called due process or natural justice. Some people choose to call it natural justice, but due process. And there are certain rules in due process that sometimes either the worker doesn't understand or the employer doesn't understand. We want it because some things have happened in the last week, and I've seen it on 2 occasions last week with workers. I thought we should discuss it, because our mission is to really educate people, educate employers, and also educate workers as to what is right and what is not right, and what the rules say, what is good industrial relations practice, what you could do and what you shouldn't do, right? So when a dispute, when something happens in the workplace, that say you are a worker and something happens and you are brought to, you are fingered in something, some way, you theft, you stole something, or you are accused of some kind of misconduct in the workplace, the first thing that should happen is that you, as an employer, should let the worker or workers know what they are accused of.
That's right.
And you should probably do that in writing. So let the worker know what he's accused of, what it is alleged that he would have done. And as such, if you do that, at least the worker will know what he should be preparing for. The worker, in most cases, will be asked to write some kind of report, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So you'll be asked to write some kind of report on the issue that took place. Just like if the police arrest you, you have to give a statement, right? That statement may not be the end of the situation, because the company, of course, will tell you that they are investigating the matter.
Yeah.
They will give you a notice of an investigation, and as such, following that notice of investigation, they could choose to either send you home on some kind of administrative leave or some kind of leave. Usually is leave with pay, and the investigation is conducted in a very expedient but also transparent manner.
Yeah.
Right? Following the end, when that investigation ends, of course, you will be available to give your side, be asked questions by the investigator or whoever, and all the parties will have given their report and say what they have to say. And the investigation is completed. The employer has a duty to let the worker know whether or not a case was made out, so that he can be brought to a tribunal or charged for an offense. He must be told exactly what he's charged for. He must be told, he must be given disclosure on the issue. And he must be told or given time to prepare for his hearing. And a safe time to be given is about 7 days. Right? Not give a letter saying that I have a tribunal Friday and the tribunal is Monday.
No,
they get a worker no time to prepare.
And to get representation.
Because he had to get representation, and he had to get representation of his choice. And we have seen in recent time where employers told employees, based on the handbook or based on the policies, that you could bring a representation, but you can't bring a lawyer.
That's not right.
Right? I remember probably just about 2 years ago, I was sitting on a trial, a big case down in South, and a big company, an energy company, came with a big lawyer and told the court that the policy says that only a person of your peer could represent you, and you can't bring a lawyer to represent you in a tribunal.
That is
madness. And what was said, and I'm quoting word for word, the judge on the matter, the senior judge, the chairman of the tribunal at the time, he said, listen, if that is in your policy, then you need to go back and tell the company. He was telling the lawyer that if that's in your policy, then you need to go back and tell the company that they may have some questions to answer. Because representation of a worker is sacrosanct. A worker could choose to bring God. He could choose to bring his mother, his father, his animal, whoever he chooses to represent him. That is sacrosanct. He has the total unfettered rights to bring whoever he chooses to represent him. And anytime you say to a worker that he can bring a lawyer, then what you are doing is you are denying that worker's representation. Correct. And then you are breaching the rules of natural justice. Correct. And then that will be considered as harsh and oppressive and contrary to good industrial relations practice. Correct. So that is an issue that we see happening or coming up from time to time, and that is an issue that I think those that are practicing that, even if you say it in your handbook or your policy or your contract,
that shouldn't be
that is at variance with what is good industrial relations practice, and you should desist from doing it.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Following the hearing, right, the worker must be given the right to question his accusers. Right? So if there's information that he's hearing from the persons who wrote report and he didn't get an opportunity to respond to it before, he has the right to question his accusers through his lawyer or who is his representative, his mother, his father, whoever is sitting with him. He has the right to question his accuser on it, to make sense of it. If that didn't happen, or that opportunity wasn't, because sometimes they tell you can bring a lawyer, but he can't talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen that. No, I've seen all kinds of variation of attempts of tribunals, and when I see it, I make it out. I bring it to the attention of the chairman, whoever, and hey, you're going down the wrong road, right?
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, you could have this facade calling it a tribunal when you don't know what you want to do.
Exactly.
Right, and you don't want somebody of any kind of intelligence to speak for the worker,
that, exactly.
Right? Or to see through what you're trying to do. And that, to a large extent, is trouble. You're inviting trouble.
Exactly.
You're inviting trouble. And sometimes the worker might be wrong,
Yeah, but
sometimes
but
the workers might be wrong. A trade union tell me once, he said, listen, a trade unionist told me once, he said, listen, a good friend of mine, he said, listen, a worker could be wrong like a O. If you do the wrong thing in relation to the steps and breaching natural justice and that kind of thing, that worker will almost all the time be treated.
It's possible for them to win
against
the matter
you in the court. So the thing is, even sometimes the whole tribunal went through. It went through good. But the worker then found that there was some information that was available that would have exonerated him after you say he terminated. And he could then ask for an appeal. That's his right. That's one of the rights of natural justice. So all these things are so important, and therefore it's important that employers understand it and observe it, and it's important also that workers hearing us understand what are their rights in the workplace. But what say you?
The important thing, I think a lot of companies try to avoid going through the process of tribunals because they don't quite understand the purpose. The first thing is to ensure that due process happens. If someone is being accused of something, rightfully they should get an opportunity to defend themselves, as it's done in the workplace and it's done on a normal day-to-day. If you are accused of something, you should have an opportunity to say yay or nay.
And it doesn't have to be like a court. You don't have to set it up. You could have your own system.
But that's what a tribunal necessarily is, like a mini court, as you say.
But at the end of the day,
the person has to have that right. And more importantly, companies need to remember that this protects them against litigation. You cannot just fire someone. You can't just go on hearsay or on one side of the story. It's important to go through the entire process. And I think, I've seen where a lot of companies, the CEOs will say, you know what, well, we go pay in court. It doesn't happen like that because somebody's salary is their property. That's their livelihood. So you making a decision to terminate or suspend with pay without going through the process, you are interfering with what somebody's property is.
And the next thing is, a lot of people say, well, we did the tribunal and we...
A botched tribunal.
you can't do something like that and think that you're just... It have a third eye.
Correct.
You see that place on St. Vincent Street, as our fellow empire always say? When you reach there...
That's when the jamming really started.
You have plenty of questions to answer. If you didn't do the right thing.
Correct.
Right? So sometimes we just think that we could do the wrong thing and get away with it. And the other answer down the road, it might take us some time. But you'll pay. And your name will be in black and white somewhere.
Correct.
In a place where they didn't want it to be.
I think companies don't realize that just for the representation or appearance by their representative, they have to pay for that, The employee just have to pay union dues. You have to pay consultancy fees.
The worker just had to pay union dues. And sometimes but you had to pay somebody like myself or somebody
per hour.
Per hour for every
bit of information.
For years, you paying $5,000-$6,000 for every time you appear in court and all that kind
drafting
of thing.
Of the documents.
Drafting documents, evidence and argument, witness statements, everything, and
all
sometimes research, all that kind of thing. Those things are very costly.
Exactly.
You have to pay that. So always retain a professional before you make a mistake, because you'll cry down the road. And that to a large extent is what I wanted to, because over the last week I've experienced all kind of variation of these things. Sometimes they tell you the next thing that some employers they'd like to give you, as we said, they will tell you, they will charge you and invite you to a tribunal Friday. And they tell you the tribunal is Monday, right? Or Tuesday.
Doesn't need enough time.
Essentially just giving you 1 day to prepare for your tribunal. And then you might tell them, well, on the Monday I tried to get a lawyer and he say, well, he could come but he can't come tomorrow because he has court tomorrow. And your employer say, well, we give you the chance to bring a lawyer, and your lawyer say he can't come. That's your we hear the matter anyway. So you go and try to hear the matter ex parte. You mad?
You can't do that. You cannot do that. We have to be fair across the board. And you see, the way they treat employees in these types of matters represents highly how they treat employees on the whole. Your mind is so fixated on getting rid of this person that you don't realize all the missteps that's coming with it.
No, some of them realize it, but it was designed to happen like that.
And that is abuse of power to the heights.
It was designed for them to happen like that. They really didn't want this worker to come with representation. So if this worker didn't get a lawyer to come, and the lawyer say, I can't come today, but I could come Wednesday or Thursday. They say, well, right, we're going ahead and have the tribunal anyway, because we give you an opportunity to bring a lawyer, and you didn't bring the lawyer. You didn't bring somebody, and you didn't bring somebody on the day of the tribunal. No, that, my friend, is wrong.
Of course, on every level.
Representation is sacrosanct. All right, so I'm seeing a call. Let's take this caller. Good evening, caller.
Hey, guys and mom, good afternoon.
Good
How y'all doing?
afternoon.
All right, good afternoon to you all. First and foremost, really important topic and area. Has always been, but even more so in our economy right now, with a little change of leadership in politics and just the sense of, maybe a fresh start in a sense. But some persons maybe don't know how to, deal with the change, etc., etc. And long story short, labor relationships with employees and employers extremely important. I don't have too much contribution. I will save most of my time for if you all want to engage, man. And I'm making one statement humbly and respectfully and in my honest observation as an employee. For one, proactive measures. Have proactive measures been in place to mitigate the development of some of these issues? For example, from the ministries of labor, have they really been touching base with companies to make, have they been receiving all the necessary reports? And then we could even touch more into an even more sensitive issue like NIS, because there were times when you heard some reports on the news about persons' contributions not being remitted properly, etc., etc. So that could be a whole other issue. But, have they been following up with employers and making sure they do the right things? Giving employees that comfort that they could, seek their interests, from a respectful standpoint, and don't have to feel as though the employer always have the leverage over them, so they can't speak up or whatnot. So, and then in reality, as I heard the lady, you just reminded me, unfortunately, and you all may be able to comment more. I have noticed, and it might seem like a sensitive point of reason, but in my experience, some women, at whatever line, and when I call this program, I wouldn't call any employers' names or anything, but I noticed some women have a little issue with some men who seem just straightforward. Come into work, do your thing. I don't know, something about it don't sit right with them, and they kind of go through certain lengths to oust you.
Why you had that problem?
Listen, if I were to be honest, I'm an HR practitioner and I can't deal with all that. You can pass me straight, honestly.
Well, see, that's why I say some. I would never paint a broad brush. Some women probably have the maturity and the objectivity to know that, hey, as a male, once you doing your work and you're not approaching me and making me feel uncomfortable, we are just co-workers. Whether we talk today or we don't talk at all, we are co-workers. It's a professional environment. Unfortunately, some young ladies, and we could say some men too, don't have that professionalism. So they kind of bring their personal feelings about life and their personal views about life and try to adjust, person's situation in the workplace. So that's my contribution. Any questions you all want to ask me at all? Hello?
When you talk about some women who may have, what you're talking about is a kind of unprofessionalism in the workplace.
Yeah,
that,
ego issues for sure.
That speaks to something that is kind of like prevalent sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's power and authority and that kind
Absolutely.
of thing. But it's something that once you know your rights, then you shouldn't have much of a problem.
Yeah. And I'm coming off the line now, so you have to go back into it, but inspire a better way to say it. The workplace goes back historically. History is important, as you all might know. How countries would have formed relationship with countries in the past, or probably invaded other countries and dominated, and over years those things progress into companies now, maybe what we might call multinationals in a sense, may not have started off in the most mutually agreeable terms. You know, that's something to look at. And as far as the women, as point that I raised, that very, in my humble observation, that very real. Because then now a woman might coerce other women or other men into, you know, joining their vendetta to really limit men's progression.
Caller, it sound like you're getting abused on the job. By a woman.
I've been dealing with this for
You're getting abused by a woman on the job.
So.
I mean, I experiencing. I mean, just for these.
Don't call she name. Don't call she name. You're getting abused by a woman in the job.
I mean, I have been dealing with not too professional.
Not too favorable
things.
Conditions. I see.
Yeah, it's like every day is a little something there, like whether they're just standing in the way or something here. And I mean, I try to maintain.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard gatekeepers.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you have people with ego issues too, eh? You know, a lot of times, especially for women, because I see it happening a lot. Some of them don't have respect at home, so they come to work to usurp their authority to get that respect. My question to you then would be, why are you still working there?
Well, ma'am, first and foremost, without a shadow of a doubt, I need to take care of my needs and my wants as a human being.
Understood.
You know, yeah, and then to...
And they deserve to be working in an environment free of fear and you know, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. And you'll be familiar also with Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yes, we are.
And at the top, they talk about
self-actualization.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you want to self-actualize.
Absolutely. And I mean, as I said, the current situation I'm in isn't exactly what I would have studied for, but I enjoy the job, and I go there every day with a positive mindset. You know, so I mean, as I close to give room for your feedback, as I like to hear y'all. Sometimes we just kind of laugh it off and trivialize it as, well, what you gonna do, boy? That's all some women are. That's all some women are. But if we do that, we enabling it, and then slowly but surely, our standards could slowly deteriorate.
Understood.
Okay. So caller, let's take another call.
I'll have to remember to respond to him.
Yeah, well, we will respond to you. Good evening. Good evening, my favorite caller. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Matheson and Mrs. Samaya.
Good evening.
I got carried away listening to that guy, and I completely forgot what I was going to say, because anyway, I wasn't in the
So you call us back and... Yeah?
No, it's okay. It's okay. You were talking about, I was going on to what you were saying before the caller called, and you were talking about the legal as a tribunal or something like that, right?
Yes.
Right. I wanted to ask you, so could I defend myself?
Could you what?
When I'm going to...
Of course
could
you
I defend
can.
myself?
Of course
if
you
I'm
can. Of course you can. Of course you can. One of the judges' rule is you have the rights to an attorney, but if you choose to forego those rights, then your matter will be heard with you. You talking for yourself. If you feel you could talk for yourself.
I prefer that. Yeah. I prefer anything, because I find where I'm working, I feel that, number one, I have to deal with my administration, the people who hire me or whatever. I deal with them in and out of any, just naturally, they are the boss. So I deal with them.
Right, but what I'm saying is, if you choose to support yourself, then the company
they can proceed.
And you may not have all the wherewithal to be able to defend yourself in a certain kind of way. You might think so, but you may not necessarily have which is why people sometimes just have unions, or they may have an attorney, or they
that's why. Yeah, well, that's why I asked you. That's why I was asking you, because I am not I do not really believe. I know it have a right for a union, but I am a one person. Find that I can speak for myself. And when you said that I might not have, well, what would you say? I might not be able to defend myself.
No, we say that you may not have the wherewithal. You may not know all the rules. You might have a good grasp of the issues, but you may not know the rules that govern the tribunal and what you are entitled to and what you're not entitled to, or what, certain things. You might be there by yourself, but they might have a lawyer sitting down with them, and they may already have a plan to deal with you in a certain kind of way.
Yeah. But I think, too, one of the first things we have to do, I think we could think for ourselves, and we are in the matter. But as you say, there are things you might know, and I think, why would it be, well, anyway, I think you could think for yourself just as the lawyer did. The lawyer they have, or you, or anybody.
Well, if you feel you could think for yourself, go brave, do what you have to do.
Now, caller, there are some people who choose
that's why I asked you all, I thought people couldn't.
No, you couldn't.
I thought there was something to block
you could
somebody
represent
from
yourself.
being,
A lot of people do, unless, of course, it's a different kind of court. Some courts you can't do that.
But, caller, why do you try to encourage people to get representation and stop abuse?
If you have a business, you, Mr. Matheson, and Mr. Samoya, and I would like your services, what is how can I contact you? I noticed you all give a lot of information, but the only information you all do not give is like a telephone number. I don't know if I never heard it, or if you're accustomed giving it, or what.
Gave it last weekend.
But we do have, when we're not here on this show, we just be before clients, we just be working, we just be in the court or some way, So we do this every day for people, just like yourself. My number is 382.
Right, so why? But are you all advertised if I don't know your name?
Okay, my name is Stephen Matheson. You can find me on Facebook. But my number is 382-4208. 4208. 382-4208. You could always call me. You could call Simoya too.
382, and I could get...
Huh?
And Mrs.
Yes, my name is
Samoya.
Yes, my name is Samoya Sandyford, and you can reach me at 722-0371. So what I do, I deal with exit strategies and career planning. So for the caller that called before, that's why I asked him why he's still there. I deal with those types of issues. When you are ready to get out of your toxic situations, you can call me.
Yeah.
Right, so we deal with a multiplicity of issues, both in HR and IR. And and when we not on the show, we just be sitting down before people. Sometimes even after the show.
After hours, we are on
call.
Okay.
Talking to people, helping them with the issues. Right? At a course.
All right, that's very nice.
At a cost.
At a course of
Thank you. Wait, what you said? If I call you, even a telephone call costing you? What?
At a cost.
Yeah, the services are
so
paid.
If I call you, I have to pay you for that call?
Yeah. You either come to our office and get all the information and you pay. Or
no, so you say at a cost, so if I call you to say hello, how are you, and how is the day going, I have to pay for that?
Now. You're free to do that.
What?
Ask any kind of question now on the show. This show is
right.
free.
No, but remember, I don't want to pick up the time here. If I want to also, once I call you, it has to be official.
No. I'm not saying that. People call me strangely. People call me all the time sometimes, and they ask for advice and
right. Things. That's what I want to know.
And you don't have to pay for that. But if it is something that you need help
I know with, if you take up.
I will tell you to come to my office or something, and you will have to pay.
Of course.
Right?
But I was just thinking, okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right, thank you. Yeah, so Simone, we were talking about
so we continuing on the tribunal and
let's take this caller. See now caller calling. Yeah, good evening caller. Oh. Good evening caller.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Matterson. Good evening, Mr. Moya again. Mr. Matterson, if she know you, you be all in the news and stuff with her. You that well-known man.
I that old fella, but I out here a long time.
Yeah, and the young man who call in, do not call Mr. Moya lady. She's a young lady. Mr. Moya born in the 90s, right?
Simoya didn't born in the 90s. Simoya born in the 2000s.
I was born in the 90s, sir. 1990, okay?
Serious?
Yes.
So long?
But
you so old? Don't come to mind.
A few months after the attempted coup. Okay,
Serious?
thank you.
Wow, 1990. So, okay. All right.
So Mr. Matterson and Mr. Moya, you know, that is interesting, knowing that you could have your case call and they give you one day to get a lawyer, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that should be improved on.
I think the mad.
Yeah, that you see, that's just a clear case of advantage. And when you think that employees don't know their rights, so we really need to be respectful of people's rights.
Yeah, true.
You can call me and tell me, listen, the tribunal found that you're guilty. We made out a case, a prima facie case against you. You had to stand trial on XYZ day. You give me that Friday evening, 4 o'clock. Right, when I'm about to leave. And you tell me to come, pack up your office, and come Monday for the tribunal. That is nothing short of sick.
Correct.
Yeah,
Setting the person up to fail.
That's madness. Yeah, that's madness. You know, but you know what the question I want to ask you guys? What is the number one cause for having this dispute between workers and the employee? The number one factor.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Answer.
Like,
you see,
the number one factor.
So a lot of the times we have issues like this when, for me, from my experience, when there is a disciplinary issue that happens. A lot of the times that warrants a tribunal.
No, he asked what is the number one cause for tribunals?
Oh, well, is on the grounds of a disciplinary issue. So if something happens and there needs to be an investigation, that's how far it's going to reach to that level.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're asking if it's theft.
Yeah, because
the types of issues.
Yeah.
Well, anything that can cause you to be terminated.
Sexual harassment,
yeah,
gross misconduct,
anything that causes you to be terminated.
Release of information it should not have released to the public.
Yeah.
Theft.
Those are the major.
All of which will usually fall under gross sexual harassment.
Yeah.
All of which
gross
will
misconduct of some
gross
sort.
Misconduct. And your policy, your HR policy may speak to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything that goes, not even, it could be something that didn't go to the root of employment contract, but
for example,
that goes to the root of
time and attendance issues.
Time and attendance
for them to come to the conclusion of termination, we have to put you in a situation where you make your play of litigation.
Over and over, you're doing it perennially, you are taking advantage of the situation.
Yeah.
You know, all I'm saying, cheating on time.
As long as you have to present evidence.
But some companies have other subjective means of trying to. So they'll say, well, your production low and your performance was good last month, it was good the month before, but the month before that it was bad and it's bad this month. So we want to terminate you. You know, so it's all kind of issues really that sometimes it's hard to get addressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because over here the number one, well, two reasons why most people get fired from retail companies: theft and fraud. High on the market. High, very high.
Theft and fraud. That's kind of like dishonesty, and that's a major reason why people get terminated.
Correct.
Right? Dishonesty, but of course, here.
Sorry to say that.
You had to prove it, you know.
Correct.
And we outlined the process earlier on that you have to go through to be able to do it. So the process is costly sometimes if you want to do it right for the employer.
It's very costly.
But it's better to pay that cost up front than to have to pay it down the road. Although in Trinidad and Tobago, you could do all the right thing as an employer, and an employee can still take it to court. Right? The employee might
All
win,
right.
but the employee can still take it to
Yeah,
court
yeah.
and will
That's
still
a
cost you
cost.
again.
Still take
Yeah.
it to court.
There's a cost there
Yeah,
again.
there's a cost factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the young man who call in, why the ladies pay respond there, I will be only get grassroots there, because this is what I heard other ladies say. When you don't pay mind to women in the workforce, and you're by yourself and you're silent, they're trying to look at you if you're fruity now. I'm not saying you fruity, yeah, but they're trying to say the reason why you don't really be attracted to them, you might be on the fruity side now, if you understand what I'm saying.
What side?
Fruity, he's saying.
Fruity?
The fruity side, yeah.
Oh, I don't understand what I mean.
Mr. Matterson, don't let me say it now.
You mean Gilly as a man?
Yeah, so you know, so some of them, when you do pay a mind to a woman, because you know, if a red-blooded man will see a woman who looking perfect in all aspects, and you know, you will watch and they will try to engage her, but if you're ignoring them and you're not looking, they try to find a situation why you're not doing it, and that is another problem it have in the work area.
I am not sure that a certain level of women are, into that behavior. Sorry to say it that way.
I was thinking otherwise, because if you're like on that side, a woman wouldn't pay you no mind in that kind of way.
They would actually be more drawn to you, because we enjoy hanging out with people of that. You're one of the girls.
You one of the girls.
So that's a kind of,
Yeah.
but what you are describing, or what he is describing, is a kind of commerce, kind of bacchanal kind of thing.
If you feel as a man, you're not part of the liking part of the woman, then they might kind of hate on you. So I don't know. That is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. That's what I say. You know, some men are silent and they're shy, and you know, they don't really have a good social way of
Plenty of women is like
themselves.
shy men. Plenty of women is like shy men. Simoya? I mean, you born in the 90s.
I am steering you on the side of caution, Mr. Matterson.
All right, guys. You guys reach home safe, and
Thank you.
And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
It has some women don't like shy men. I have a friend like shy men. I have a friend in New York. She don't like shy men at all.
I have no comment for you, Mr. Matterson. We are talking about issues in the workplace. But I'm saying, okay, I hear what the guy is
Let me take this call. Good evening, caller. Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Matterson, and good afternoon, Samoya.
Good afternoon.
And Mr. Matterson, your female caller, she ball at you, but like you didn't know how to hit it.
See what you're saying?
She does have Matterson in her corner, eh? She does batter mean.
She ball it there, you know.
Nah, like she too bad.
Actually, sorry over the weekend, you know. But I see you had company, so I feel I'm going to disturb you.
You saw me where? Huh?
More in the south side.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Good. So you come down south?
Yeah. I'll enjoy the show.
Alright, good.
The rest of it, yeah, man.
Thank you. Yeah. So you can't hide from nobody, but
Yeah, no, not on this program here. They see me face all over.
yeah, well, you can't hide at all.
No, but I mean, that's unfortunate what the caller described about what he's experiencing with women. As a woman, I have experienced that type of isolation as well. It's disheartening.
You experience, are you isolate men or you?
No. I've experienced the isolation when you are not in the crew with
Right,
everybody
so
else.
People are usually afraid of the difference.
Yeah, yeah.
The unknown. If they can't really analyze it in a certain kind of way.
They put you in a category.
They put you in a category and they leave you alone. They call you nerd, they call you chupidi, all kind of things. But
I mean, I've been called all sorts of
all
stuff.
is
too.
part of the office politics.
Exactly.
And, people have just had to understand these things. Good evening, caller.
Hi, I'm in Lodi volume.
I didn't hear you.
Blessings. I was saying, let me know my volume. My volume was a bit loud. Yes, good topic. What I am saying is I understand what he's saying. You know, sometimes he means to say girly way now. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, correct. We do.
Right. Number one. Number two, in your workplace, some people there's no limit. So it have times you have to pull away yourself from the group. You know? Sometimes in a workplace you need to stay by yourself. Hi, hello, listen, good morning, or however, whatever you say.
Correct.
Do your work, leave. You have a car doing this, some of them are drop. Don't even when you're going for lunch, don't even let them ask. Take me across there. No.
Sometimes that's the stance you have to take with people because they do cross the line.
You have to. I dealt with a lot of people. You try to be nice to people sometimes, and you try to be too nice to some of them. They don't know what is love. They've never been loved. They don't know what is niceness. They don't know what is like. Somebody, he just treated me good or she treated me good. They didn't mean nothing, you know. Work ethic. You know, and it's a lot of characters you have to deal with out there. And it don't matter how nice you try to be with people. Sometimes people always turn it and tie it up in a different form of matter.
Correct.
Understand what I say? Right. And next thing I have to say, what I'm saying is no. I find people like to teach too much and making a complaint.
They like the thief in the workplace.
That is the next thing.
What are thief in? The thief in people lunch or?
You can pay juice, you can pay lunch, some of them taking that and all.
I know somebody who long time who only used to thief lunch.
I heard about that. I heard about that.
And look something happened to my son today. What about these women and them? They have the family, they have the husband or the boyfriend. And they're always looking to friend with the boss on that low. And then when they call for money a certain amount and they didn't get it, saying it's rape and going for the police, all they talking about that. How much women doing that out here? It's a woman too, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
we spoke about that.
You see, that's one of the endangered, that will make men endangered species in the workplace because sometimes women are crafty. And some women will put it in place.
That's why men have to be disciplined.
You understand? That is why there are hidden crammers all about for them. So when they go for the police officer, I was with you know. Those studies, you know. Yeah.
It's true.
No,
it's true.
So caller, you had friends who do them kind of thing already, ain't?
Mr. Your business fairs, I'm telling you. Out here dread, you don't know who to trust, boy, dread.
Yeah, boy.
And you know what happened today? I don't like thieves. My son went in the ID card place today. My son does do business and he's working in a government office. And he put down his phone in the ID card place. You know somebody pick up the phone by the time he go by, he can't go back.
Wow.
I'm pleading somebody can hear me and know. Tell all his friend who take my son's phone in the ID card place today.
So you didn't let them ring the phone?
Watch the switch it off and then ringing.
Yeah, I remember a situation like that, you know. Somebody thief her phone in our office and they're looking all about for the phone, but the person forget to take off the phone now. And they happen to ring the phone and you know what the girl say? You know what the girl say? Oh shucks, all this phone reach on me, boy.
Wow.
This phone ringing on me.
Wow.
They want to see themselves on TikTok and Facebook. Somebody can hear somebody and tell somebody that somebody said that on 91.9. Thank you. Bye.
Oh God, yeah. I mean,
but yeah, all these things happen in the workplace. The politics and it's part of maturity. There are times where you will just have to.
Theft is a real problem too. In some workplaces, I mean, that's some people just hand just sticky, boy. They just like to touch, boy.
And the sad part is, people like that is possible if the procedure went wrong. That thief can walk free and walk normal in the court.
And that's what we're saying, because sometimes, I mean, you follow the wrong procedure, you know, you end up in a position where, where as an employer, you end up in a position where you lose one way, the thief your money, the thief whatever, and you end up losing. I remember a particular situation, I don't want to call the case, where a worker stole money. Everybody knows she take the money.
Wow.
But the employer was so overzealous about it.
Hasty to get rid of the person that you didn't
go
go
home, come out my place, you're a thief. Well, yeah, she went home. She got fired on the spot, summary dismissal. He couldn't prove that she thieved the money.
Wow.
Although he knew she stole the money.
And the burden of proof is on the employer.
You know, she got what, $150,000.
Jeez. Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, dread like that.
That is her livelihood, you know.
So you had to do the right thing too, although you know, as an employer, you still had to do the right thing, because if you don't, you will end up in problems. And if you don't know, if you're not sure how to do what you need to do, you need to probably retain a professional that will help you solve the problem.
And I can tell you, Stephen Mattison's consultancy has never lost a matter. I've worked with him.
Let me take back this call. Yeah. Good evening, caller.
Hi, blessing is me again. That is why everybody has hidden cameras in the house and in the workplace. When it comes to the money, everything. Hidden cameras that the workers don't know about on a camera. And everything will go smooth. Everything. Okay?
You put cameras in the washroom and thing too?
No, not in the washroom. As long as you're dealing with the money in business places, hidden camera, you can't put camera in the washroom.
Oh.
Even though the people with the hidden cameras is when they go to fix it, make a pad, put it in the bra, put it in the B or wherever, you know, we don't mind.
No, but you say all over, you know.
No, I didn't mean that.
No, that kind of advice you give in the public, you know, people might want to put camera in the washroom and...
Let them go and put it in the washroom and get in trouble when I take you to court. Let them go and put it, and get plenty money, like the lady you know say about. What I am saying, you cannot trust people these days. I don't know why people behaving like this. What I am saying, and I can give an advice to all business persons, have hidden cameras. Even though you have a secretary, you just have a board that they see in all parts or whatever. You have personal hidden cameras where your money is concerned. Elsewhere, somebody monitor that camera and everything will be smooth. So when you feel your cash and you go keep 500 or 1,000 and do this and do that, don't study. Me want to go in the court and have to pay 150,000 after. People need to do that because people is very dishonest. You don't know who to trust. Okay?
Okay.
Bye.
Well, thank you, caller. So as we promise you that on a daily basis, we will talk a little bit about, even if the topic was as contentious as it was earlier on, at the end of the day, we still giving you something to go home with. And today we will have told you about the disciplinary process and how you bring someone to a tribunal, what is required of you, both the employer and the employee, and what you should do and what you should not do. Because knowing that, in our opinion, is critical to you not spending a whole set of unnecessary money down the road. It is what we do. So what do you have to say to the public close enough, because we are on our last minute of this discussion today?
Yeah, so I really hope that you took this information and you really apply it. You need to consider, for those in toxic environments, you need to do something about it and not just complain. If you had the belly to take it, then that's on you. But you have resources here. Stephen Mattison, you have myself, that you can reach out to us at a cost. Just want to highlight that. Yeah. But there is support for those who need it.
Everything does need to buy.
But you do need to invest. I mean, we're into the second half of the year. Where are you with your career goals? Where are you with those things? So you need to invest in yourself and make some movements, yeah?
Yeah, correct. And you don't necessarily have to be, to get representation. The last thing I want to say is you don't necessarily have to be a member of a trade union.
Correct.
To get representation. You can get represented. If you're taking the matter further, that is outside of the sphere of the workplace, outside of the contract, then of course you would have to, and you want to take it to the industrial court, that is, then you would have to join a trade union at some point in time to be able to do that. it have a time period in which you do that, but maybe we will talk about that on our next show.
Yeah.
Right? So it was a pleasure talking to you today, callers, and I'm sure it was a pleasure by you listening to us. Tomorrow is another day, and we will have a different set of discussions tomorrow, I am sure. All right? Thank you, and have a great
good evening.
night.
Bye-bye.
Evening.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the